Okay, team, welcome everyone. Looks like the camera's trying to find me. I'll scoot back just a little bit. There we go. Sabrina and Stephanie and I were all in the office today, so I felt it made sense for us to just join one another in this room. So we are here in person. On video, we have Mom, Vicki, of course, Joe with the Office of Respondent Parent Counsel. Attorneys Monica and Amy are both with us. Jen, my teammate, will be co-facilitating and taking notes today. Kelsey is one of the case managers that oversees one of the foster homes in Savannah, oversees the other one. And then we have Savannah's supervisor, Sarah, on the phone number ending in 75. Jeff, therapist with Ariel Clinical Services, is with us, and Nicole, supervisor of Parenting Time, just joined us as well. I'm glad you can be here, Nicole. I know Audrey kind of got my message last minute about that. So Vicki, I know that we originally had this follow-up family engagement meeting scheduled for what was supposed to be after the adjudication trial. Then we would kind of know where things were at, if the department was going to still be involved and whatnot. We are now meeting before the adjudication trial, so I'm going to get a real clear picture from the team today regarding what we hope to accomplish in today's meeting. Vicki, I was hoping to connect with you directly on the phone this morning to kind of prep for that a little bit more. Hang on, we just had Beth join us. And Beth, remind me what your role is. And Beth, you're on mute if you responded. Vicki, are you working with Beth right now? And in what capacity?
I'm not.
Not familiar?
No.
Stephanie, are you able to speak to Beth's role?
I'm not aware of who Beth is, unfortunately. Beth is Kathy Coleman's assistant, I think. If it's
Great.
Beth Starr, that might be.
Beth Wise is what we have on the. Yep.
Yeah, that's Beth.
Hey, Beth. So as most of you probably know, Cassie is the new guardian ad litem on the case, and Beth will be here, it looks like, in her to support her. So.
What is the guardian ad litem's name?
And Beth, if you're having a hard time, you can put something in the chat if you want to, or if you're having a hard time, maybe you're multitasking or traveling, and that's okay. You could also disconnect and reconnect, and then maybe we're able to see and hear you. But in the meantime, we will just assume that you need to be off camera and off mic for now. Anyhow, Vicki, I was hoping to connect with you this morning just to kind of get a clear idea of what you were hoping to accomplish in today's meeting, and I will get that from your agenda items. But I also want to just kind of set some ground rules for today's meeting, that there may or may not be things that we can accomplish in today's meeting, and it may need to be resolved in court. Vicki, I know that there has been some concern in the past about you recording meetings, and I understand the need for a paper trail and for documentation. I would just encourage you to, let me ask first, are you recording this meeting?
No, I can't, and my phone's about
And you're
to
on
die.
mute, dear.
My phone's about to die. But I need to run to go grab a charger really quick.
Okay, we'll wait for you.
Okay, give me 1 second.
And it looks like Robin just joined us as well. Stephanie's supervisor. Welcome, Robin.
Yeah, thank you. I apologize for being late. In my mind, it was at noon, and I was just doing other things, waiting till noon, so I apologize.
Hey, I thought it was at 11:15, so I actually made it early today. It's one of those days, yeah, Robin? All right, Joe, go ahead.
Yeah, so just out of curiosity, and this is like a general question, not just for Ms. Alfred's case, but does the treatment team or GHS have any issues with clients recording these meetings?
I was going to share that once Vicki gets back, why I asked that question. Okay, yes. So there will be documentation. Jen will be taking notes in bullet point fashion, and certainly anyone has the right to record these kind of meetings. I know there were some concerns about things being put out on social media, and that maybe that has been an ongoing concern. And I just want to make sure our motives are clear here, and want to remind everyone that this is not a legal proceeding. We're here to address any barriers. We are here to discuss any concerns. We're here to discuss protective factors of Vicki and her family system, and talk about the department's concerns and how to mitigate those, because reunification is the primary goal. So wanted to put that out there because it sounds like there's still some mistrust in the relationship, and I know we're in relationship building stage here. Vicki, I do understand that you are only wanting communication to happen through your attorney, so I'm glad Monica is here today. Is that the case moving forward, and do you feel like you have all the people that you need here to be able to have this conversation today? Oh no, and then Monica just left, but Amy's here. Hopefully Monica will be able to rejoin us. Hang on.
Yeah, Monica's driving through the canyon, so
Okay. Okay.
I'm sure she'll call back in.
Do you feel comfortable having this meeting then today, Vicki, regardless?
Yes, I do have to hop off early because I have a preliminary hearing to get to at 1 p.m.
At 1, okay. Okay. So what are you hoping that we can talk about and accomplish today, Vicki?
Well, there's a lot, but basically the most appropriate things to speak about in an FEM are how are my kids doing? How is little Austin doing? Have the foster parents put safety protocols in place so that the kids aren't sneaking out to go play on the trampoline, etc. I mean, if they don't have any of those things, I have plenty extra to offer. Like, the little door and window alarms. I have an excess of them. I ordered some from China, and I have like 10 of them. So, really,
okay.
Like, if there's anything at all, I want to make sure that my child is safe. And then for the babies, I want to see how we can prevent further injuries to them.
Vicki, you're cutting out. We didn't catch any of that.
Oh, not at all? Let me turn on my Wi-Fi really quick.
Okay.
Vicki, sometimes it helps to go off camera, and then the voice can connect better.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so let me start over. What I'd like to accomplish first and foremost is to discuss how my children are doing, discuss whether or not any safety protocols have been put in place to prevent the children from sneaking out, like was mentioned the last
Yep, we
FM.
heard that part.
And if there's any need for any child safety equipment, I've got a surplus, and I can provide that to anybody who's, got my children in their care at any time. And also I wanted to discuss how, like, what's being put in place and what we can possibly do to prevent further physical injuries to not just the babies, but all 3 of the kids. And then talk about what needs to be done for reunification. Let me close my window. Sorry, there's construction going on.
Stephanie, what do you want to add?
I definitely would like to talk about communication, visits, and if there's any services that I could get authorized or an ROI signed.
Okay. Vicki, I did get a message from Jackie Owen that you are no longer working with her. Did you want to share details about that with the team?
I was not given any details about that. She asked me to sign some ROIs, and I e-signed them, and then yeah, she said that she would no longer be meeting with me. So I've already secured a different therapist.
Okay. Do you want to share the name of that person?
Not at this time. It's still fairly new, so I'm trying to make sure that they're the right fit for me.
Okay. Can you share what your focus will be at this time in therapy?
Yes, my focus is going to be on recovering from domestic violence and the situational PTSD that has come out of it, and then also the trauma of this whole entire situation.
Okay. Monica just rejoined us as well. Vicki, in regards to services, is there anything else that you feel like you might benefit from right now that you would need Stephanie's partnership or authorization for to get that service going? For funding or otherwise?
I was told, and I'm not sure if this is accurate because I haven't verified it yet, but I was told that there's services for like helping, like housekeeping, or helping to like get stuff out. So I have a bunch of like old baby clothes and stuff, and it's very overwhelming just, being where I am right now. And I was told that there's services that DHS can authorize, which might help with that.
Or some real concrete support in the way of helping with that. Okay. And just know that you are still cutting out just a little bit, but we can hear you for the most part. So let's tackle that right away. Stephanie, are you aware of any concrete supports for helping take items from a home or to a place to donate? Or Vicki, remind me if you have transportation.
I do have transportation.
Okay. Is it a matter of getting the stuff places like used baby clothes you could take to Goodwill or the Ark or Once Upon a Child? Or is it a matter of someone coming to the home?
I pretty much have got the consignment stuff all together. The biggest issue that I have is last year when I came home from Texas and my house was destroyed and we lost everything, well, almost everything. Whatever was not contaminated was put in boxes by a packing crew, a very unprofessional packing crew, and moved to my garage. And the boxes are from the floor to the ceiling. None of them are labeled, and they put glass unprotected in every single box. And so my hugest problem, especially with the babies, when I had the babies with me, was getting through those things because there was broken glass. And so I didn't feel comfortable doing that. And now I have the free time to do that. It's just hard to push myself to do that. And when I heard about the services that could possibly be offered to help with something like that, that's the biggest issue that I have, because the apartment management here, they've told me, like, you got to do something, you got to, clear that stuff out. There could be spiders, that inhabit it after a certain period of time. And so, stuff like that. And it's it's like a mental thing right now with everything
Yeah.
going on.
It's overwhelming. It can be overwhelming.
Yes.
Do you remember who you heard from that there was this service and kind of what the details were?
I don't. It was somebody online on what's it called? Like the Nextdoor app. So it's not somebody that I know personally.
Okay. Anyone, does that ring a bell for anyone? A service that might be able to help with something like that?
Maybe like a life skills coach or I don't know. I think life skill coaches will also help go in and clear out clutter, and stuff like that. I can't think of any like actual just like cleaning things that would help you with that.
Nicole, I wonder if you could speak to that, being a life skills worker. One of the many hats you wear.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to follow up with my supervisor because I don't know if that's something that we would do, like go in the home and help clean it or help organize. So we would have to follow up on that.
Okay. Can we make that a formal next step and that you can follow up with Vicki on that next time you see her?
Yes.
And then team, Joe, I know you are super resourceful. Anything that you can think of that would fit that need?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay. Vicki, what about your natural supports? Your dad, your stepmom, your ex-father-in-law, any of those folks that would be willing to help in that way?
My dad has, he offered to use the truck, because I have a lot of furniture in the garage, and he offered to let me use his truck. Then somebody crashed into him and totaled his truck. So, but my dad, he just had knee surgery. My stepmom's, she's experiencing a plantar, foot issue, plantar fasciitis or something, and I just don't feel comfortable asking them for help when I'm totally able-bodied, and like I would ask anybody else for help, but I would feel like the need to pay them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to step out of my box a little bit here because we have a previous relationship, Vicki, and I'm going to challenge that a bit in that, given the reason the department is involved this time, and and thinking about long-term safety for kids, it takes a village. Or any parent, parenting in and of itself can be overwhelming. And how do we, as moms, as parents, reach out to our national supports and ask for help when we do need it? How can we share that we are struggling? Things can be overwhelming. Yes, we are able-bodied, and it takes a village. So you don't have to have an answer for that, but I just want to, mom to mom, kind of put that out there, that it can be challenging to ask for help, and how do we break down those barriers to do so?
Right.
Robin just had great ideas too. There is the Joseph Center or Catholic Outreach. Are you familiar with either of those entities?
Yes.
Okay. Have you worked with either one of them before?
Yes, I've worked with both of them.
Okay. Would you feel comfortable reaching out to either or both to see if
Yes.
that's a resource they can maybe provide?
Yes.
Okay. Other natural supports, Vicki, that you have? Again, I think as the department is looking at, how worried to be about things, what is in place to mitigate the concerns.
Mm-hmm.
Having a support system is huge. Any other folks that you would consider part of your inner circle right now that you can count on?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Are those names and people that you'd be willing to share with your team here?
No, but that I mean I probably should ask. It's just me getting over that hump of asking. Um Although I have asked, and I don't know, like people are like okay, like yeah, sure I'll come help you, and then they like sit on their phone on the couch all day. So yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of like that. Like they would help, but I mean it's just when they see my garage, it's kind of it's really like it's not a wreck or anything. It's just so many boxes with no labels, and I mean the way that they did that to me was really like horrible. Because I had no say in any of that. But I mean, really, most of the stuff I really would just bring to Goodwill because I've refurnished my house completely. Actually, don't need like 90% of the stuff.
And hopefully this new therapist is a good fit for you, and you guys could talk about how to break down the barriers and how it is to ask others for help. But Jen, it looks like you had a suggestion too, a roll off. I'm not familiar. What is that?
So sometimes trash companies will put a roll off it's basically a big dumpster at the house. I mean, I have seen some of those be provided to clients in the past that have needed to help clean some things out. I didn't know if that might be helpful since your dad doesn't have a truck anymore, to have maybe, I don't know if the department can help fund something like that, and even if it would be helpful.
Right. I want to donate most of the stuff. A lot of the stuff is really, really in great condition. It's just a lot of like infant furniture and stuff I would rather donate so that somebody else could use it who's in need.
I know that the Salvation Army picks up items after a garage sale.
Really?
I wonder if that might be a resource. Might be worth a call, Vicki. I'll look up the number and add it to the notes that we send you, okay?
Okay.
Or even Habitat.
Oh yeah.
Habitat, yeah.
Definitely Habitat.
Okay.
I'm writing all that down right now.
Okay, great. So Stephanie, any questions, any thoughts that you've had so far? Or should we start talking about the kiddos and get updates on how things are going?
Yeah, I am absolutely happy to support, and anything in your garage. I just kind of need that communication to know what you need. I can tell you that I saw all 3 kiddos last week. Austin is doing very well. He does have some eczema that he is dealing with a pediatrician on, and it does look better. However, eczema, comes and goes. And when I was sitting with Austin, you can see him sitting here and itching his elbows. So unfortunately, he's not helping his situation. I am looking into some other, I was told of a soap that is super helpful with eczema, so I was going to look into something like that for him. In regards to the younger 2, I did an unannounced home visit last week and wanted to see how the children appeared. As I knew there's definitely been some concerns with the cleanliness and paper rashes. I was able to surprise the Baser family, and they both appeared very, very clean. They did just went up from a nap, so they had a little bit of, crazy hair. But they did not have any diaper rashes, and they are really happy and healthy, and they're getting big. I cannot believe how big Apollo is.
Yeah. How's
Vicki,
his finger?
has Austin struggled with eczema in the past. And is there anything that you've used that has been helpful?
He's never had eczema before. However, in the wintertime, he gets, when with the dryness, his knuckles and the top of his hands they get red and chafed. So what has worked for him is I make this salve out of pure unrefined coconut oil and pure unrefined shea butter. And that mix, it cures whatever skin issues that he has, and it, like, if he applies it, proactively, it prevents it. So I can make that for my son, give it to him on Thursday, if that's okay with you.
Stephanie? Would that be okay? Okay.
I know that they are working with a doctor, so I'm not sure if they have prescribed stuff. I can absolutely see if the foster home would use that.
Or maybe even proactively with the hands as we're heading into winter, and then at the next doctor's appointment, foster parents would take that in and say, could this be supplemented too? Or Nicole, is that okay for Vicki to bring that to visits? To hand off?
I mean, if everybody's okay with it, she would have to give it to me to give to them.
Right. It sounds like Stephanie is okay with that. With the explanation around, remind me, are you, Kelsey? Kelsey, you are case manager for that foster home. Okay. Do you mind passing along what you heard from Vicki?
Yes, I will.
Okay, great. Kelsey, anything that you would add about Austin and how he's doing?
Yeah, Austin's doing really well. He fits in well with the other kiddos in the home. He's just a really sweet boy. He has a great sense of humor. He likes to make everyone laugh. He's doing really well in school. He says he really likes his teachers. He has lots of friends. I haven't had any concerns at all with Austin. Yeah, I don't really have much to add. He's just a really sweet boy. Very personable.
He's awesome. He's so intelligent too.
He's very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things he'll say to me, I'm like, you are just very wise for your age.
His vocabulary too.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a very, very sweet boy.
Mm-hmm.
How about the younger kiddos, Savannah?
I don't think I have anything additional to add to what Stephanie said. I think they're doing well in general, and yeah, I don't think I have anything else.
How are your visits going, Vicki?
They're going excellent. The kids are so happy to see me. Apollo runs up and says, "Mommy!" And he's just the sweetest, and they give like the best hugs, and they're just so it's improved a lot since the first visit. And I'm getting better at making sure that everything's cleaned up and the kids are ready to go to the front at 5:30.
Okay. All right, Nicole, what would you add? I'll give you the floor next.
Yes. So that is one of the things that I have talked to Vicki about is, taking my prompts and please getting the kids out in time because I do have another parenting time and the foster parents all have a very busy schedule as well. So we're kind of going inside now because the weather or whatever. She does come prepared. Sometimes I think a little too much prepared because, I think sometimes it becomes a little overwhelming. But I am going to encourage her to make sure she's got the diapers and the wipes to try to prevent one of the concerns about the diaper rash. That day, I did give her a diaper and 45 minutes kind of went past. And, if she is sitting in a soiled diaper, she may be red because of that. She's bringing activities like Play-Doh. Like I said, the water activities are kind of at a standstill because of weather. What else? The dancing. I'm trying to think of snacks, juice. I mean, like I said, I would like to see Vicky have at least 2 more parenting times where she can get out on time before we discuss like adding another day or anything like that.
Joe, go ahead.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not hearing anything about any safety concerns. And I understand there being time management, and you've got, people coming in and out of area all day long. I understand that. But again, time management in terms of making sure her parenting time is ending directly on the time frame as opposed to going over 5 minutes is not a safety concern. So it sounds to me like you're okay with 2 more visits and then adding more time. With this not being a safety concern, why can't we just have the conversation right now of adding more parenting time?
Because there was some issues that came up last week that I feel like until we know all the facts and everything, that we need to make a decision moving forward.
What are those issues, I guess?
Vicky, are you comfortable sharing what those issues are? And I don't know that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, so last week I posted a video of like a 27-minute compilation video of me and my kids over the years. It's the first of many. And I guess some people felt threatened by that for some reason.
So she's posting things on the internet. Is that a safety concern?
Seems like there needs to be more information. Stephanie, do you have?
Yeah, so I
I can add some more information.
I've seen multiple different safety concerns that have been brought to my attention that have been posted on Facebook, YouTube, Nextdoor, that are regarding a list of people that you have basically written down because we are involved with corrupt processes. Basically, my understanding, fight of the corruption of CPS with proof that they're liars. And my name is listed on that amongst many, many others. There are definitely some safety concerns with you and your locations when you send me messages saying my child outside when you're in front of basement's home, or telling me that Austin is not safe because there is a car accident that occurred on Highway 50. There are major protections that need to be put in place for our foster homes that they are not being taken care of at all at this point. And so that's why these concerns have been communicated and discussed.
And what would impact potentially increasing parenting time at this time? Okay, Monica, go ahead.
I'd like to know, are these safety concerns that just appeared? I mean, I know that she is always concerned about her children. I think her telling you that she was a car accident on Highway 50, just saying that her son is not safe. I mean, those are things that parents always think about. I don't think that, if it raises concerns, then why haven't we discussed these already? Because I think the one piece about the children being outside, that's been a couple of months now. I think if we're going to address these, let's address them. If they're safety concerns, what is the actual safety concern? She's not threatened anybody. She's a parent that's concerned about her children. I think that in a case like this, it's very, very appropriate to be very concerned about your children. She doesn't get to be with them all the time. She worries about them all the time. So let's discuss what the actual safety concern is.
I do believe that posting anyone who is just trying to do their job for the world to see, stating that we're corrupt or abusing her children are definite safety concerns I have. And I know that Ariel has their own concerns. As I did communicate last week with Vicki, Ariel did have some safety concerns with her coming last week, and they were not able to facilitate that. I did offer to do a visit for Vicki and the children on Friday. However, I got no communication from Vicki.
Okay, what are the specifics around that? Because it sounds like I'm hearing three things. I'm hearing posting about concerns about the kids a couple of months ago, which we did talk about in the last family engagement meeting. And hopefully that hasn't happened since. I'm hearing that there's maybe been recent postings with specific provider names on social media, which is a concern. And then is there something specifically that happened last week, either Stephanie or Nicole, in regards to parenting time?
I guess my biggest concern is that she's posting names and addresses and telephone numbers for anyone on social media.
What address did I post? Whose address did I post?
Or who's involved in their case. So, yes, those are major concerns.
Whose personal information?
Can I just chime in just a little bit as well? I know. Sorry.
I didn't hear what Vicki said. Vicki?
Oh, I didn't realize she was talking. I apologize, Vicki.
Yeah. You said something about personal information?
I posted a clickbait list of adjectives with nobody's personal addresses or it was clickbait. And it had nobody's personal information there, where nobody lived. It was nothing threatening. There was no threats. It was a clickbait just because I know that there are so many people swarming my Facebook page, and that is just just a list of adjectives that, somebody who might feel like they identify with those adjectives might click on. I don't know. It's just being a troll,
Robin, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say that I have also, there's been videos where it looked like she was outside of Placement's home, or at least out on the street in front of Placement's home, and that's a safety concern for not just Placement, but her children as well. And so I just wanted to point that out. But we have concerns. We definitely have safety concerns for the kids in these postings.
Which video in front of Placement's home?
Those things need to be addressed.
That's not true.
And that was as recent as last week. I've just gotten clarification on, not 2 months ago.
Can I get specific details about which videos that you're referring to? Because that's not true. So whoever is saying that, they're speaking out of their, their rear end.
I myself seen a video with you standing out in front of what looked like Placement's home. You had some sort of work in your hands, and you had done, I don't know how it works, but where you had fingers on your
Placement doesn't live on Tracy and
outside of Placement's home, and this was as early as last week.
I can walk to that location right now and take a video in the same spot that's nowhere near Placement's home. It's near my apartment complex. It's like my walking route. So whoever's saying that, they are freaking out for nothing, and they're accusing me of stuff once again. That's not true. I can probably walk during this FEM right now and go and turn on my video and be in the same spot that I was in when I took that video.
Who has some ideas on what can improve the working relationship here so that we can focus our time and energy on why the department's involved, how to mitigate the concerns. I'm interested in us spending the rest of our time with that focus in mind. Monica, I do want to hear from you. You had your hand raised, and then Joe. And then I want to see if we can move forward.
I did see the videos that she posted. Nobody expressed anything to me about it being at Placeman's house or anything, and it was a bunch of through the history of her and her kids. I think a couple of names were added to one post or so, but again, I think the thing is it is social media, and people have opinions, and unfortunately, we all work in a world that, we have people that aren't happy with us, and she didn't threaten anybody. She's hurt. She's overwhelmed. She wants her kids home, and she has a history with another case, and it was very concerning of some of the things that happened in that case. So I don't think she's never threatened anybody. And the fact that your name shows up in a post doesn't mean that she's threatening you. But I think if you look, I think there's a lot of people that are in government or certain jobs and doing their jobs that a lot of people post about. So, it's kind of taking her parenting time and saying their safety concerns because your name ended up in a post, but it wasn't something that gave any information about where you were or anything. I think that's kind of extreme to start saying their safety concerns in her, because she's very good at her visits, and I think the thing is like was stated, the concern was that she's not getting out on time. That's the only concern that I've heard. But then these videos, but she is a mom that's going through a lot, and when you get your children taken away, you do. You want to think about your children. You want to know what's going on with them, and you do. You look at ways to keep them involved in your life. I didn't say anything threatening.
Monica, do you have any recommendations for Vicki on how she can direct that hurt and that energy other than posting names of professionals that she's working with, tied into her discontentment with them and the system? How can that be outletted in a more healthy way when we're looking at the bigger picture here of coping with life in healthy ways?
Well, I heard her say that she has a new therapist, so maybe it's just expressing those concerns to that individual. And she does express things to us, too. So I think she's got some outlets, and she just focuses more on those. I know and you guys talked about supports. Well, sometimes that's where you get your supports is from social media. And it's just other people that have been through the system. It gives you some other individuals to get support from. Well, I'm not encouraging anybody to go post everybody's names on social media. I'm just saying we'll try, maybe redirecting and talking about these individuals to her new counselor and maybe staying and leaving names out of the piece. I don't want to discourage her from reaching out and getting supports because it's a hard piece. But, it's to work as a group, which I think the thing is, I don't know. It's a hard situation.
Yeah.
But I would just say if she wants to redirect and talk about these individuals with her therapist, then that might be a good way to go about it.
Yes,
I think some of us can agree as professionals that having their names out there can feel threatening, can feel, it rocks the boat a bit. So I like this forward thinking of coping with things in a healthy way. What are some different outlets? Joe, thoughts, and then Robin?
Yeah, I guess I kind of just want to maybe reiterate what Ms. Groom was saying. If she were posting, oh my gosh, DHS is the best agency in the entire world, and I'm so glad they removed my kids, DHS is not going to give her kids back to her any quicker if she posts good things. Yet here she's posting bad things, and we're saying, safety concern. And I'm looking at a Facebook page right now of Stephanie Murillo, where it's having her caseworker, social caseworker 1. So if DHS doesn't want to be on the internet or be on Facebook or be on social media, why am I able to find this? Why are they on these sites? And then I had a third point, but can't remember it. So I guess that's what I got. Oh, no, it's still not there. Sorry.
Wow, guys,
I want to say that I have quit posting.
Frustrated with this conversation today. I think
Oh yeah, sorry, the negative impact of the children due to these safety concerns.
Certainly. Wow, I just want to digress for a moment. I want to hear from Jeff regarding how therapy is going with Austin, and from a therapist perspective, well, I'm not going to put you in that position. Just if you have any therapeutic thoughts on what you've heard so far today, Jeff. But go ahead, floor is yours.
Okay. As to Austin, I think he's doing well. We're just getting reintroduced. It's been a while since I've seen Austin, and he's just now getting to feel a little more comfortable in therapy. I can't say that I've seen any progress. It's been a very short period of time. He's coming pretty consistent. He missed one, which is not uncommon. This that time of year in school and everything. But placement's ensuring that he gets here on time. I'm seeing him dressed well. He's clean, groomed appropriately, and he engages. He remembers me. But like I say, it's been a bit of time, so he's still kind of wary and hesitant as far as really engaging at this point.
Jeff, any recommendations for this team, knowing that you are not any of our therapists, on how to have a working relationship? Any strategies you would put out there?
Gosh, well, I think you know as well as I do. Communication is probably the best path to a good relationship and transparency. I'm not going to add any personal comments or insight into the discussion. I am going to question that this discussion is even happening. I like you, Willie. I think the discussion should be focusing on the kids. I'm not sure that all that has been discussed is helpful to the case, is helpful to the kids, is helpful for a return home. It's a lot of sidebar, a lot of, pardon me if you will, a lot of drama. And so I don't think that's helpful in the case. So that's why I'd say communication, transparency. We can reflect a lot on what's happened, and we can be very combative, and we can have great discourse on what should or shouldn't happen, and the appropriateness of being online or what's posted online. But when we come back to the basic, what are we trying to accomplish? And that should be the focus of the team and these meetings.
Jen, what insight do you have?
So I just want to clarify what this, I'm hearing safety concerns for potentially people at the department or providers. What's the safety concern for the kid? Because I'm trying to document everything that we've been talking about, and I just want to clarify what's the safety concern for the kid. The kids, they're in supervised visitation. I'm trying to understand what that concern is, and if visits are supervised, if there's not any safety concerns in the visit.
So as it pertains to possibly increasing visits.
Yeah, I mean, I was really unclear on that.
Okay.
And I've been trying to take really good notes, and I hope I got everything. I just want to make sure I understand. Is there a safety concern that could impact a supervised visit, I guess, is what my question is.
Let me first start here. Vicki, are you interested in an increase in visits?
Absolutely.
And if so, what would your hope be? An increase in the amount of time on the days that you already have, or an additional day, or something different?
I want to be able to do community visits. Just like to take my kids bowling or, something, especially now that it's going to be cold outside, probably like get air or something fun. I just want to take my kids to go do fun stuff like we used to, and definitely increase time as well, no matter what day it is.
One thing you heard from Nicole today, and it may have been just a single incident, Vicki, there was a period of time where maybe Artemis was in a diaper for 45 minutes or so, and there was maybe some redness. Do you feel like you can recognize her cues when a diaper is needing to be changed?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not my first rodeo.
Okay. What was different that day, perhaps?
She came to the visit soiled. She was soaked, basically when she first got there.
And it sounds like maybe you didn't have diapers or diaper cream that day.
Yeah, my trunk stopped working, and so that's where I keep the diaper bag. And so my trunk's still not working, but I got diapers and stuff. So
Is that no longer an issue?
It's not. I mean, the trunk thing is not. I mean, it is an issue, but it's not going to stop me from bringing diapers and wipes.
Okay. So from what I've heard today, that would be one thing that would be important, is making sure that the basic needs can be met, before considering things like play out in the community.
Well, no, it was
Perhaps at
just
one
that time I couldn't. I didn't want to
situation on
crawl.
that day.
I didn't want to crawl through the back seat.
What's the scoop with getting out of visits on time? I'm not quite clear on that.
Oh, it takes a while to get. Apollo likes to take off his. He likes to take off his shoes, and he likes to take off his clothes because he's a free spirit, and so it's hard to have them all ready at a certain time. Kids are not timely, prudent creatures, and so for me, I want to be gentle with them. I don't want to feel rushed, and so I'm having to, discipline myself on. Okay, I already know how the kids are going to be. I know their personalities, so I need to start doing this earlier. And then basically just like, kind of figure out like a strategy on how to not rush them and not rush myself, but be proactive about it. And so I think that it's working so far.
Would you be able to agree to that being a goal the next 2 weeks, say? This is just a suggestion, team. Have that be a goal. Figure out your strategy to get out of there on time, if you are in the community, and that could become an issue with trying to get the kids back to foster parents, to get them go on where they need to be on time, etc. Could that be a goal at least the next couple of weeks before an increase in visits is considered? Nicole, what are your thoughts on that? Or what else would you feel like you would need to see before you would support an increase in visitation time?
Like I said, I would like to see a couple weeks. And it's not necessarily just Apollo every time. And Vicki, I'm really not trying to blast you. I'm just trying to help you move forward. When I give that time prompt, I give a 20-minute time prompt because I do know it takes you longer. And sometimes you still focus on the activity that you're doing instead of, okay, now we got to shut this down and we got to move forward. With the other piece of it, like I said, I would like to speak to my supervisor before I agree to anything else. But I would like to see at least 2 parenting times that, we get out on time. I would also like you to redirect Austin about any conversations about placement as well. Even if he volunteers the information without you asking for it, can you please redirect it and say, we're not going to speak about that right now? It was just a thought that popped in my head as we're sitting here.
Yes, definitely.
And then, team, we don't have Christy here today with Parents as Teachers through Hilltop. She has previously reported how well Vicki does engaging with the kids, getting on their level, interacting with them, having dance parties. Nicole, I heard you speak to that today as well. So certainly things to support an increase in communication or in visits soon. Robin, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. First of all, I just wanted to apologize if I kind of took that off the rails for a minute. I just felt like it was being skirted around, and I just wanted to put it out there. But the other thing I wanted to say, Vicki, is we really want to work with you. So, and we want to help get your kids back home to you and whatever we need to do that. So what do you need from Stephanie, from DHS, from your team to be able to build some trust with you so that we can do that and move forward? Like, what do you feel like you need to see from us to be able to do that? We want to get services in place for you to be able to address whatever you can. We also need release of information so that we can make sure that the services that you are doing are appropriate and meeting to mitigate the safety concerns that brought your kids into care. So you just tell me or tell the team what you need from us to build that trust so that we can begin to move forward with you.
Certainly. Thank you for asking, Robin.
That's a good question.
So I definitely would love to see some more transparency. Also, it's extremely, extremely important that any gossip about me or any accusations about me, any paranoias about me being like some mentally deranged boogeyman hiding in somebody's yard or something, like, be brought to me first so that I can address it. And if somebody said I followed them closely on the highway or walking in front of their house one day, like, I would like the dates, the times, if I'm following them on the highway, it's supposedly like, what side of town was this on? I need specifics because, first of all, like, I can accuse anybody here of anything, and it would upset you, especially if it's not true. But, if you were to ask me specifics, I would be more than happy to give them to you or give them to anybody who needs to know that stuff. So, in case there's a way for me to say, well, this didn't happen because here I was, here's some proof, that can't have possibly been true. I would like the details so that I could hopefully, you know what I mean? Like, prove them wrong. Because about 90% of the things that I've been accused of so far in this case have been absolutely false. And I would love for somebody in the department to give me a heads up about what's being said about me, the specifics, and then let me, discount that and give me, the time of day to do so.
Do any of those accusations tie into why the department's involved in the first place, Stephanie, and kind of the bigger picture here of what the department needs to see from Vicki when considering reunification? I'm going to give you a minute to think about that. Joe, you had your hand raised. Go ahead first.
Yeah, and I guess I kind of just wanted to back up. So I just wanted to challenge the team that, again, I think I made my point that, this time management thing is not a safety concern. It might be an aerial clinical services policy and setting, people back a couple minutes, but it's not a safety concern. I don't think that it should, prevent moving forward in parenting time. But then just clarification. So if everything's great for the next 2 weeks, then are we moving to supervise that in the community like Ms. Alford asked for? Or what is it looking like, I guess, after 2 weeks of her being on time or whatever?
Yeah. And that was my suggestion for a time frame to look at with what I've heard today regarding specific things that Ariel would want to see during parenting time. So great question. And maybe it ties into the bigger picture of what the department needs to see in general, related to why they are involved in the first place. So Stephanie, thoughts?
Well, I can tell you since the beginning of this case, I have struggled with communication with Miss Alford. I've done unannounced visits. I've made visits. I've texted, emailed, called, and I just cannot get through. The only time I've really been successful in seeing Ms. Alford is in court. And normally I can catch her for a couple minutes after. The department really needs the transparency and communication to be able to work with Vicki and provide those services. She, won't sign any of the releases of information. She won't share a lot of the specifics that would allow me to support her better.
And to assess how worried to be if the original concerns have been addressed. And Vicki, maybe you don't feel comfortable doing that until after the adjudication trial. And so I'm going to say to this team, if the judge determines that the kids can return home at the adjudication trial, then this will be a non-issue. Until then, you're needing that information to help make informed decisions to keep things moving forward towards reunification. So it kind of feels like we're at a standstill, if I'm being honest, from an outside perspective. I guess, okay, when is the adjudication trial? When's the first day?
October 17th.
17th?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, that's exactly 14 days away. Can this team agree that if the children remain in DHS custody after the trial, or I guess let me ask this, Stephanie, would you be willing to consider an increase in visits with just based on Nicole's report of being able to meet the kids' basic needs and getting out of there on time and no more posting of people's names and what have you? Would that be enough to you to be being able to make a decision on whether or not visits could increase?
I think I would have a hard time with that because it's not up to me. I'm not the one that's actually facilitating the visit. I support it, which is why I offered to do a visit with Vicki last Friday. I just know that Nicole already advised me to speak with her supervisor.
Okay.
And so I'm flexible, absolutely. I just am not quite positive on what Ariel would be.
Okay, and we wouldn't necessarily need to have a family engagement meeting to have that conversation. I'm wondering if we can make a formal next step for Nicole, her supervisor, Stephanie, Robin, Vicki, and whoever you want.
Something. It's hard to hear. There's something that am I the only one hearing that?
Vicki, it's your phone. Yeah, we're hearing you.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Sorry. I just couldn't hear very well.
Yeah. Can you guys schedule a meeting after the adjudication trial, if DHS is still involved, to discuss whether or not to increase parenting time? So you said the adjudication trial starts on the 17th or ends?
It starts on the 17th.
Okay. Any chance you all are available on Friday the 20th to have that conversation?
We go till 10, or I'm sorry, we go till 5 p.m.
On the 20th? Okay. Well, and maybe we have a family engagement meeting the beginning of the following week. I guess that put us 3 weeks out. I guess we could have that conversation in a family engagement meeting. Because then the bigger picture is going to be, where else do we go towards reunification? At that time, Vicki, are you willing to sign releases of information? How do we work on the relationship? Okay, that being said, do we just kind of pause the conversation here then today, team, and look at coming back together in a family engagement setting on the 23rd or sometime that week? Or do you feel like we can accomplish more in today's meeting? My vote is to schedule that week.
Yes, let's schedule it because I have to go.
Okay. That's right. It's about 20 to 1
Yes.
hour. Okay, team. I am looking at October 23rd. What day are your visits?
Thursdays at 3:30.
Thursdays at 3:30.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Robin and Stephanie, I'm wondering if we could look at 2:00 on Monday the 23rd. Otherwise, team, we need to look at Wednesday the 25th after 11 a.m.
Unfortunately, I will be in court on Monday at that time, so Wednesday would probably be a better day for me.
Okay. 11 a.m. on Wednesday the
That works.
25th. Is there anyone that doesn't work for? That doesn't work for me. Me either. Monica, does any time, or Kelsey, that afternoon work for you? I'm free from 1 to 3 if any of that time works for Monica.
The only time I would have is during lunch.
At noon on the 25th. Can we go ahead and set it for noon, team? I can probably make that work. I'll move around what I have at noon. Okay. Vicki, would you be able to be here in person?
Yes.
Vicki and Joe, would you be willing to be here in
Yes,
person?
if you could remind me, my brain's like in 8 places right now.
Okay.
So I'm in the same hearing that Ms. Gordon is in. So if you want to be there in person, fully get to that. I should have between the 12 and the 1:30 time slot available, but I would not be able to get there probably till like 12:15-ish. If you want to be there in person. I'm not going to have to be on the phone while I'm driving there.
Let's keep it virtual then. But I think moving forward, if DHS is still involved, I would suggest that we meet in person, if it works out. But I'll send out the invite for noon or 12:15. Which would you prefer, Monica, Joe? Would 12:15 work better for you?
It probably would if we take a break because if we run late at all.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. Let's do 12:15. I'll set it for virtual, and I will send out the invite Wednesday the 25th at noon.
Sounds good.
Hey, thanks, team.
Thank you, everybody.
Talk to you in a few weeks here. Bye now.
Bye.
Thank you.